Welcome everybody to the Watchlist right here on the Latiners Network, where we review and kind of go over all the recommendations all from all the shows that got released on streaming this week. And of course, we always let you know what's coming out the following week so you can create your very own watch list. You want to know what to watch? This is the show to see. Let me introduce my co-host who will be guiding us through the seas of streaming. Of course, that's live from Houston, Big Bro himself, the ambassador of love, Señor Jaime, aka Chewy. What's going on?
Yo, what's up, brother? Happy Sunday again.
Happy Sunday. A decent week of television, I
Post,
gotta say.
post, Phil Connor.
The what?
Post Phil Connors.
Yes, point.
Dun, dun,
Um,
dun, 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 dun,
um,
dun,
uh,
dun.
did you? 'Cause I know you're very excited this week because you were raving, chomping at the bit to see Death in the Nile, which you made me taint the show by announcing that last week. So just
Hey, man, like I said, it comes to stream, we gotta announce it, all right?
yeah, I know.
It was
Exactly
okay.
my point.
Yeah, yeah,
For free, fair enough, but it wasn't nothing to get
yeah.
excited
For
about.
free, not worth anything else.
Yeah, even for free was kind of like, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that being said, let's get to some more worthy television here. It's actually decent stuff this week. First one off the bat, now it came out on last Tuesday, and that's on Hulu, The Girl from Plainville.
Cool.
Yet another true story account that Hulu's been kind of diving into in the last few months. The drop off finishing pretty soon, which I've been enjoying that one. Elle Fanning here, yeah, this still
One more episode of the
yeah, one version
dropout,
of the
I think.
dropout. Yeah, which is one I recommend.
Mm,
Here the girl from Plainville, Elle Fanning, is that her name? She
That's
started.
correct.
Yeah, it's based on a true story of some young girl from small town Plainville, who I guess assisted in a suicide with her presumed boyfriend or influenced his.
Hey, influence is probably a better
Yeah,
word. She
no,
just
that's
what
not
she,
assisted. Correct, right?
yeah, she the assistant is like, oh, you're actually
Sure, that's
partaking,
a fair
but
point. No, yeah, she definitely, influenced in some manner, and she obviously ended up being convicted of manslaughter, if I'm not mistaken. So it goes to a true story and all that. True, your thoughts on the first, I think, 3 episodes that were dropped?
I thought it was two, but yeah, maybe
Oh, it's
three.
two. I don't know, but
It
yeah,
was yeah, it was okay. I mean, subject matters okay. Nothing to write home about. I will watch. I'm fairly interested, but it's not a. It's definitely not on my must watch list at this stage. It's just a little dry, for what I'm looking for. It's probably not, maybe not dramatized enough. I just, maybe the subject matter is just not interesting.
yeah, I agree, and it was okay. Like if this was released on a Thursday or Friday, which usually the bulk of the shows come out, I probably would not be watching it. But being released on the Tuesday, it's usually a light day for the most part, right? So
Yes.
I will continue to watch for that reason. That being said, this is low end filler for me. Yes, it wasn't. I don't know. Yeah, you're right. It is very dry, not that interesting. I don't know. It's just very by the numbers for the most part.
A little bit paint by numbers.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, things like the drop on Pam and Tommy were a lot more interesting. Dope Sick, another one that was more interesting.
Oh,
Yeah,
Dopesick was
yeah, and
excellent.
was yeah,
Pam and Tommy was just outrageously funny.
yeah, it's just a funny show. But like I said, like took a story and did something with it, right? It's
Yeah.
just like a retelling of the
Yeah.
account of what happened with the video. Did something funny, entertaining, and all that. So, yeah, this one just I don't know. I'll keep watching because it's on Tuesdays. That's really the only reason I'm watching it. So it's not really
Pretty
that's
much.
not really a ringing endorsement for the show. It's not horrible. It's not a bad show. And it's not Death in the Nile or anything like that. But ultimately, there's bigger fish out there to go catch than this. So again, if you're interested in the story, you know about it, go for it. But again, buyer beware on that one. The next one. This is interesting. A docu film by Netflix. Netflix usually does well with docu films. That's called Trust No One: The Hunt for the Crypto King. Another true story, obviously true story. Based off, I guess I forgot his name, but creator of this company in Canada. I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, some one of these crypto exchanges, like Canadian crypto exchange,
Yeah, back
at the advent of Bitcoin and everything else
right.
that happened there.
Yeah, when the boom
Mid
came
two
up.
thousands. Yeah.
When the big boom with the Bitcoin, everybody was trying to get on the train and all that, and then it took its humongous tumble at some point. And his CEO, who had I think there was the CEO ended up proclaimed dead. His wife said he died. A lot of mystery behind it, and along with his death, there was about $250 million which disappeared from the account. Of course, a lot of people who had money invested in there, and ended up with zilch, and then this conspiracy, and that had a conversation with a lot of the people who invested on that, who were big into Bitcoin,
Mm-hmm.
who had money invested in the exchange, who got nothing back, and this is conspiracy theory that he's not really dead, that he's out there somewhere, he's got the money, and the wife is involved, not involved. A lot of interesting story here, and I like this one because this one I didn't hear too much about, but it's told very well. It's very well paced. This one, like unlike Girl Plainville, is not dry, right? The people who are in there are very interesting. It's like it's an interesting story because you kind of follow like is this guy really dead? Maybe I think he is, or these people just theorizing because they're just pissed off because they lost a shitload of money, life
That's probably
savings, right?
first out there.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, yeah. But funny enough, after that crash, look where Bitcoin is now. So who's that in their face?
yeah,
But hey, whatever. 10 years later. But anyway, no. I mean, obviously, this individual is not particularly interesting, but his story is very interesting,
right.
right? Because he was essentially a nobody, developed an exchange, but at the very end, what he had created was a Ponzi scheme for himself, essentially. And from what it looks like, right? Because I think he was dipping into the piggy bank, which happens more often than not
Sure.
with people who achieve this success and think they're above the law and basically just kind of dipped in, and then when things went sour, they were like, "Uh-oh," people want their money, and then it just went to hell. At least back then.
Right.
But and they go through different angles and different possibilities as far as the why. Did she know? Did she not know? One of these secret partners who had a criminal background and wasn't his real name. Was he involved? Did he know? But at the end of the day, essentially, I think he had used. It's hard to say how much he took for his own pleasure, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, we're dealing with transactions and this nature. They're hard to follow, right? You got these blockchains, you got these things. It's not like we're a bank. You can see
Right.
everything
The
is
money
is
trail's a little more. Yeah.
transparent.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
With this
here it's like you don't
cryptocurrency.
know where the money's coming from,
Mm-hmm.
where it's going. You're exchanging dollars for coins and coins to dollars, and then exchanging it back to trying to not nefariously, but trying to avoid taxations on some of these transactions, doing things electronically. That was the whole point, right,
Right. Right.
of this e-currency. And so, where the money ended up, if it's still somewhere in some wallet, God knows at this point,
Yeah.
man.
'Cause apparently, yeah.
Is the
Yeah.
guy is the guy dead? I think they present enough evidence that yes, he is. But you never know, man.
Yeah, you're right. With this kind of money and this, rumors about laundering and maybe the mob or whatever. So a lot of stuff in here, which makes it fascinating, right? Because they don't give you the answer, right? You just come to your own conclusions, and here it is, right? This is the story as it is, and the facts and the theories, and run with it. So, but I like this one. It was interesting. It's a good one. I
Mhm.
like when dudes documentaries that are of stuff that's happened recently and all that. So I enjoy it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Another one. Real quick. I didn't prep for this, but I saw you last night. And that's we never talked about it in a docu-film. That's the truth. I mean, the Tinder swindler. I don't know if you saw it or not, Chewy.
No,
It's,
no
yeah,
interest.
it's actually very good, dude. It's fascinating. It's like it's this con man obviously who met girls on Tinder and took him for God knows how many millions of dollars, and the way he did it, it's fascinating. Watch, man. It's actually very interesting. I recommend that one too. I
Okay.
skipped it too. I was like, but my friends want to watch it, so I watched it. I was like, it's very cool and it's done very well. I like that one a lot. Disney Plus, Moonknight, the next
Disney
Marvel
Plus.
show, which I guess everybody excited. Only one episode dropped, which is usually the couple, whatever. But yeah, listen, with the Disney, Marvel, you're probably gonna get good stuff outside of Hawkeye, and the majority, WandaVision, everything else has been good.
I hate that poor Hawkeye dude.
Hawkeye suck is terrible.
Dude,
But Moon
come
Knight
on, man.
is
Pizza
terrible.
Dog was awesome.
It's terrible. But Moon Knight's a huge improvement over Hawkeye. Let's just get that out of the way. Where you like Hawkeye, not this is a better show as far as I'm concerned.
Oh no, I would agree with that.
Yeah, but it's cool. Yeah, it's interesting character, multiple personalities who I guess is involving Egyptian gods and whatever the case is, still kind of getting us into the story here.
Egyptian lore.
Right. We
Yeah.
got Theo Pepe, of course. Oscar Isaac.
Axe on the moon. Axe on the
You
moon.
know, who's very good in this, by the way. He is good.
Deep cut there.
Yeah, we got yeah, Ethan Hawke,
Yeah.
who I'm a big fan of. He's great as a villain. I like the show, man. It was good. It was well done. I gave one more episode that just set up everything pretty good. enough to where like, okay, let's see where this is going, and the production value is always good with Marvel, and I mean it's still a
No,
Marvel
no,
show, so
yeah,
they give
yeah.
you things you know and grown to love. I mean, I don't see many Marvel fans not enjoying the show, Chewy.
No, no, I agree. I mean, it's an interesting character, right? The how this story is told, at least in the first episode, is interesting. You gotta love that chase scene. I mean, that was just
That was cool. Yeah.
where we're getting blank, we're getting half the story. It looks like half the scene, and every time he blanks out, it's like, okay, he's out of the car and a gun. Next thing now, he's driving backwards. Like, what the f is going on? Is it a dream? Is this for real? So that was done really really well, right? And you kind of see the aftermath of action, right? As he's
Right.
surrounded, and next second they cut, and like all these guys are dead, right? And I think that's how Disney can get away with some of the gruesome violence that we've seen from obviously from the non Disney Plus shows, aka Daredevil and
Sure.
Punisher and whatnot. But so this is one where around that, right? But then you have to infer what happened. You see the beginning, you see results. All right, but
Right.
which is fine. Like I said, it's Disney
I'm okay
Plus.
with that. It's not them doing it all
Now,
the
now,
time.
now,
You know.
kudos to Disney because I think we had an argument even with the Man Beast way back when about the Disney Plus tends to family size the violence in the episodes, right? And even if you look at the Marvel movies and the show from an independent viewpoint, there is a fair amount of violence in killing in these. These are children's shows. They're not gratuitous, but
Right. Right.
they don't paint over it, right? But and we all thought, yeah, Disney was never going to do this with their shows. But no, they ported over the Daredevil and Punisher, and they didn't cut, they didn't
They,
remix,
you're right.
they
They
didn't
didn't. I mean, they have the new parental
cleanse,
controls, which is fine.
which is fine, which is
Which is
good,
good. Which
right?
is good.
Now,
I
is
get it.
this going to be for all shows? Probably not. But at least when they had stuff that's now legacy, they didn't muck around with it. They didn't Star Wars it, and
Right.
put new graphics and new things and clean it up. No, no, they left it as is, which is fine. But this show's not that, but
No.
it does infer a lot of violence and
Yeah.
shootouts and hand-to-hand combat, which they've cut out. Now, what happens, in the further episodes when we start seeing both perspectives? Let's see. But so far, so
Right,
good.
exactly. It's got to change at some point. It can't continue. It's cool at first, right? Because obviously he's obviously changing personality. We don't get to see that
Yeah,
angle of it yet.
you don't see it,
Right,
or they put it in a room and you hear fighting, right? And
right,
then you see the aftermath. So
exactly.
it's not in your face, but it is an interesting way of okay, you can kind of fill in the blanks
Right,
a little bit. You don't have
it's
to
a good
see it.
workaround.
Yeah.
Everybody wins. But I will say this because you touched on the Marvel shows from Netflix, coming over and being unedited, right, as is and whatever. And kudos to them for that. Because you're right, that's something I didn't think was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But they did edit part of Falcon and Winter Soldier and a couple scenes.
I heard, yeah, but I think they put him back. I think there was a brouhaha. They put it back, but they're going to put it back.
Right, but I mean,
That's
but
what
the
I
intent was
heard.
there to minimize a little bit of blood and all that. So they are trying to do it with their own properties, just to be fair. So it is what it. But listen, listen. I don't. It's Disney. I don't care. And I expect that. I don't expect blood, and I don't. I don't think they should, because it just doesn't make business sense. Parental controls aside, and then, again, those shows at Marvel, it's not us. We own Marvel. We didn't create those shows, so they can get away with it from that standpoint. So that makes sense. But yeah, good show. I'm enjoying it. Definitely, I think it's a high recommend on my end. The next one, this is on our Prime Video, Amazon Prime. That's Outlaws, the Outlaws, I guess. BBC show that came out a couple months back, and Amazon's picking up these shows and releasing them, a little bit later. But
I'm already laughing thinking about this.
no, yeah, it's a comedy. It's a dramedy, right?
It's a
It's a
drama.
dramedy, right? You got a
Yes.
group of individuals from across all walks of life who all did something wrong, and now they're doing community service to pay for their
Mm-hmm.
penances and crimes. And then
Mm-hmm.
things kind of escalate when a couple members, you run across a big bag of money, and now everyone's kind of gets involved indirectly and eventually directly, and try to, maneuver the way out of the situation. And yeah, this is interesting because it's an interesting show where it has some really funny moments, man.
It's interesting cast of character. I mean, it's good to see Christopher Walken.
True. Oh, yes.
I guess expanding his library, his
Yeah.
repertoire of skills into the comedic scene. I would say he has a long history, but he plays a grandfather who they kind of beat people. It's like he lies, he's untrustworthy to his grandchildren and stuff. Steven Marchand, man, that guy is killing it.
Oh,
Like,
he's great. Yeah, he's like a bumbling lawyer.
man, he had the funniest line in the first episode. It was like, "Hi, everybody, I'm 6'3", and no, not everything's to proportion.
Yeah.
If I were, I'd be 8'3". I'm like,
That's funny. Oh yeah, I mean
I know one laugh. I'm like, oh, I was just rolling,
I
man.
don't know. This guy, it's a funny show. I mean, it's more drama than comedy. I mean, put out there. I
Yeah,
see four
yeah, yeah.
episodes so far. I've been going through it because I'm enjoying it a lot. I like the story, and it's a lot more. I thought it was gonna be just pure comedic. These guys just kind of fumbling around, and it's not.
No, no, no. It's a serious elements, all right.
Yeah, it comes together
The,
well. Yeah,
the people who they bring together, obviously they come from all walks of life, various backgrounds, and obviously what they did varies. One where the grandfather was embezzler, I guess,
right, he's a
sometime.
con man. That's what
The
it is.
uh, the lawyer, questionable.
Questionable acts with those of the
Yes.
professional variety, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Um,
and his scene and when they actually show what he did is just
yeah,
hilarious.
no, it's great. You have a young girl who likes to steal
Um,
stuff. She shoplifts. Another guy who,
we have the Instagrammer or the influencer who
right,
basically just went berserk because his girlfriend
with her
was
ex-girlfriend or whatever. Yeah,
going someone
yeah.
else. Yeah, so I mean, so it's all through all walks of life. We kind of put this cast together, and obviously with the princess of this bag of money, right? That one of the guys steals, and
Mhm.
then it kind of goes from there.
Yeah, it's good. It's got some. Like I said, it's got good. The comedy when the comedy hits, it hits, man. It's a couple ones that just stand out. It was one where the influencer is talking to somebody, and I guess it's kind of compare her to Jesus or whatever. She said, "You're not Jesus." He's like, "Oh, I'm better than Jesus. He only had 12 followers. I got 1 million." I thought that was hilarious. Um, could be a pen to the sun, but it's a joke. It's not Will Smith this or anything like that. But that's a funny line. And another one where the Christopher Walken's daughter is talking to the grandson. Disparaging, of course, Christopher Walken's character, who she doesn't like, and telling him he's a con artist. He used to write sign fraudulent checks or whatever. And the kid's like, "What's a check?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm getting old." Um, Said check. I think about it. Yeah, you're right. I haven't written a check like in 5 years, for Christ's sake. But it's got some really funny moments. The drama is good. I'm really enjoying this one. This is better than I thought it was going to be. It really was, and I really got into it. So this is a high recommend for me, Chewy.
Absolutely,
Yeah, so this is a good watch on Amazon Prime. 10, I think 8 episodes or 6 episodes. I'm sorry,
6 episodes. Yeah.
six episodes. Was this limited or this?
I don't. I hope not,
I'm not sure.
but
Yeah.
we'll see. I'm not sure.
Okay.
It's to say that from what I see, I don't think it's because it was a BBC show, and I don't know if they made this limited or not. It's not
Right,
Amazon
BBC, yeah,
original.
they do a lot. They do a lot of limited as well. So, but it's good. It's a good watch, entertaining. It's funny. So this is again a good recommend for me. The next one, Apple
Mhm.
Plus, has been they've been streaking down the quad. I feel just giving us good stuff. It seems like almost every week.
Frank
And
the
their
Tank.
yeah their movie
Frank
Coda.
the Tank.
Yeah, the Coda, we just won the Academy Award for Best Movie. That was an Apple Plus streamer, so that's another notch in the belt. The first streaming movie to win Best Picture. But yeah,
Mhm.
Slow Horses. And this is
Take that,
yeah,
Netflix.
Netflix try, Amazon's try, but Apple snuck in there. It is what it is. And
Yeah.
listen, Netflix has a lot of nominations, so I'll give him credit where credit's due. But this one, you got Gary Oldman, the great Gary Oldman, right? Apple Plus always bringing in talent. He's a kind of a British type spy thriller, a little bit dark.
MI5.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah. These are MI5
Mhm.
agents. He play. I'm not sure if he's been punished in the division he's in, or if it's something happened. Obviously, we're still trying to get a little bit of
Sure.
backstory on how he ended up. But basically, this particular group is called Slow Horses because these agents have either done something or have not been to that
Yeah,
level to
we've
be
done something bad.
to be
Yeah,
to, be, to get in the
they made a
game to be in
mistake.
the
Yeah,
game.
they're
Right?
not criminals. They
Yes.
just made mistakes, so they're not up to snuff with some of the other agents in the field. So yeah, they end up here. Gary Oldman's punishing,
Could care less.
babysitting, or whatever.
Yeah, probably a little bit
A
of
little
both. I
both,
mean,
right? Yeah,
yeah, he comes off as could care less. Maybe he does. Maybe secretly he is doing something, but the guy walks, with holes in his socks in his office,
yeah. It's like
drinks.
he's checked out.
Uh,
you know.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
And he's doing like it's a lot of remedial tasks that they're doing, the surveillance stuff like that. So they're still doing kind of that spy work, but to a very low degree, right? Or something that the organization can kind of pawn on them or wash their hands up because it wasn't us, it was this guy's.
which is fun of the IT guy or the genius IT
Mm.
guy, right? Because he kind of works part time. But you see, like, he's got all these screens and he's got TV and work and stuff, and you can see it on screen. He's playing online.
Oh yeah. it,
My man.
it was surprising. It's surprising. Like I said, it's a dark comedy. It's actually funny that I thought it was going to be. I mean, it's not a comedy. There's like a dark comedic elements to it. It's still a spy thriller. I saw, I think, two dropped, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm enjoying it. It's good. Another good show from Apple, and I think
Hmm.
it's show's gonna get better. Now we're getting more into the mystery of the. Obviously they kind of fall into a kidnapping of, I guess, I want to say Middle Eastern character. And
Well,
yeah,
he was born in the UK, but his
right. It's
grandparents,
a heritage.
I
Right.
think, immigrated from either Afghanistan or Pakistan. I can't remember where
Yeah, I
they
forget
were from.
which
They,
one.
they mention it
Right.
when they do the background
Yeah,
check. But he was a British UK citizen,
yeah,
lived there all his life. So it's just
racial profiling, if you will.
yeah, we touch on these profiling, which is commonplace, unfortunately.
Mhm.
And they don't care where you're born; they just care what you look like, essentially.
Right, this kind of radical group kidnap him or whatever, and they're investigating something about that. Now they're kind of caught in the middle of it. They're trying to
Yeah.
solve it, under the books because they're not really assigned to do that, right? They one of the main characters trying to, he messed up with
Well,
it.
they were tasked. A couple were tasked with one of the reporters who looked like had connections or
Right.
what was a source for some of this material, but not directly involved in actually the apprehension or the saving of this individual.
Right, the main guy who screwed up big time on this training exercise. He's trying to get his name back.
Yeah, and that's interesting because at first episode they hit you with that exercise, but you don't realize it's a trade up. You think it's
Oh yeah, I
real.
think it's legit. Right, right,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and there was a lot of tense moments, and it was good action.
It was a
And
good
then second
scene, and I'm
episode,
like, wow, that's a training
yeah,
exercise. Coño. Okay, damn.
yeah, you find out later in the
Wow.
second episode it was all train exercise. And then they show video of like when they do these mock events in cities where let's say they're testing out like the first responders or something. You see people, okay, this one's dead, this one's injured, and they have their little cards and stuff, and so they kind of playing numbers with that. Like, okay, this wasn't real, but good. Thank God. I was like, wow.
No, I know. Yeah, damn, it's like, I mean, I don't know if that's legit or not. That's how they really train. But if it is, damn, kudos to them. But yeah, this is good, man. And I love the way the second episode ended. I was like, whoa, okay, interesting. If I spoil anything, I was like, I did.
A little
Yeah, a
cliffhangerish
little
action.
cliffhanger. I wasn't
So,
quite expecting it in a good way. Yeah, good show. I enjoy. If you like spy thrillers, I think this is a really good one. Again, Apple Plus, man, keep doing it. They just, I don't know what it is about
absolutely.
them. They keep, I'm not saying they're hitting everything out of the park. Let me not go that far, but they're giving us good quality show. I don't think
Hmm.
it's a show that I really haven't liked in a while that they've released.
Yeah.
Some better than others, some really good, some great, and then this was just like, it's a good solid show. This was even, I compare this more to Suspicion, which we enjoyed. I
Hmm.
think this has potential to be even better than that. To be perfectly honest with
I
you,
hope
yeah,
so.
because it has
Yeah.
a little
Hmm.
more originality. Suspicion was more by the numbers kind of show. This is something a little bit
Yeah.
different with this, the slow horses team or whatever, and kind
Hmm.
of dark comedy element. So I'm enjoying it. So it's really good. Another high recommend for me on that one. So good
Hmm.
stuff. There's some good stuff this week all around for the most part. Next week, not a big week, but we do have 4 shows dropping to each. Let's get to it. This first one here on the 7th, I'm really excited about HBO Max.
Hmm.
Use HBO Max. Get pretty excited anyway. We should. That's Tokyo Vice.
Yes, sir.
Ken Watanabe, who's always good. We got Answer Elgort. If I'm saying that right. Um,
Yes.
Not greatly known, but if Baby Driver, which I think is a
Baby Driver
great
is
fucking
probably
movie.
what it's
Yeah,
best known
yeah,
for.
it's a
Yeah.
great movie. But yeah, this was kind of like I think it takes place in the 90s. Answer's character, I guess, is in
In Tokyo,
yeah, Tokyo,
Japan.
Japan. He's
Yeah.
investigating, I guess, the Yakuza. Is it Yakuza or
The Japanese mob
right?
is Yakuza. Yeah.
Yeah, so he gets involved in that. It looks really cool. I don't know too much about it. It's obviously a mystery thriller. That looks good, man. I'm excited about this one. I really am. So, and I think
Hmm.
Thursday. I think it's Thursday the 7th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, correct. Hmm.
On the 8th, something I don't watch, but obviously Chewy does, and that's Elite Season 5, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Right.
Yes, a
So,
Spanish
yeah.
Spanish
Uh-huh.
show. Yeah, drama.
Yeah, I think like I said, I never started watching, and then it's too far deep. I know Chewy, you do watch it, so
Hmm.
we'll probably bring that up next
I
week.
enjoy it. It's one of these. I mean, it's. I guess I'd probably talk about it as more like a high school drama, but
That's what it
it's
seemed like.
not your typical high school.
Right. That's what it seemed like.
It's
Yeah.
more like a prep school. People with means, murder, betrayal, mystery. So, and it's I'm from Spain, so I'm always supporting our lineage.
No, Spain has always good shows. So look out for that on the 8th. Also on the 8th, Metal Lords film by
Mm-hmm.
Netflix. This is interesting. This
Comedy.
is a comedy. It's
Yep.
interesting. It's a high school, it's a high school hijinks. It's girls in the high school band, and I guess they're trying to become make
become a heavy
like a
metal
heavy
band.
metal
Yeah,
rock band. I like heavy metal like back in the age of heavy
like
metal
School
back
of
in the
Rock or
80s.
some of these. Yeah.
Right, so it looks interesting, looks funny. Kind of looking forward to that one. The last one is actually on a Sunday, but it still kind of counts for the week, and that's 61st Street, and that's on AMC Plus. Again,
Is it AMC Plus or AMC?
AMC. I'm sorry, it is AMC, but you can
Okay,
catch it on
okay.
AMC Plus if you have AMC Plus. They put the shows on there as
Oh,
well, so it doesn't make it exact. I think that's how I'm watching Killing Eve is through AMC Plus.
mm, okay.
But yeah, it's on AMC. 61st Street's kind of a. It's not a true story, I don't believe.
It's
Is
a
it?
legal drama.
Okay.
Looks like.
Yeah, legal drama. It takes place in
Yeah.
Chicago. Kid,
I haven't done enough background to know if it's based on a true story or not. It kind of has a feel of it, but I'm not
yeah,
sure.
I'm not sure, but this kid who's wrongfully accused and the defender who defended the defense counsel who takes on the case. It looks good. Looks like a good drama, relevant to all the social injustice going on, so it makes sense. AMC puts out good stuff. That dirty black bag, which I haven't really gone back to, is actually a pretty good Western show, which I'm kind of enjoying. It's getting better as it goes along.
Mm.
So
Oh, we finally get to see Travis Flamel finally.
yeah, yeah, fine.
I was like, where is this guy? I haven't seen him. Like episode 3 or 4.
Four,
Yeah,
yeah.
episode 4. Finally, it's like, oh, okay,
And
finally,
they didn't get us the
he
bait and switch, god
arises.
damn it. But that's a good show on AMC Plus, that dirty black bag. If you like westerns, that's one I recommend. It's actually pretty good. But yeah, so those are the 4: Tokyo Vice, Elite, Metal Lords, and 61st Street. For next week, we'll touch on some of those. And we got Severance closing now. I thought it was 8. It's actually 9 episodes and Outlaws Plus, so we'll definitely talk.
Yes, I was like, oh man, one more week.
One week, which
Okay,
is good. It's like a good problem to have. So we'll definitely talk about how that ended as well, and maybe even the dropout, which ends this week as well. So that being said,
And Tony Gray has one last episode this week as well. So.
okay. So yeah, since it's a light week next week, we'll probably talk about some of these shows that ended and all that, and then kind of revisit whether you should watch them or not based on how it ended. So that being said, that's the show for today. Hope you guys enjoy. Create your watch list as we intend for you guys. Subscribe, like, etc. Check out other shows. We got Nurse Planning here every Thursday. We got Thanos Choice coming up as well. We haven't done that in a while, and we appreciate it. See you guys next time.
Peace.